friends, it's takeover time. Today we're in B-Key Rugs. B-Key? Why am I pronouncing it like this? BK's, oh my god, BK Rug 2024. And this is a very early game account. I'd also say this is a very casual player. We've got some accumulated cash, we've got some accumulated gems, the gem mine is unlocked, the garden ring slots, it's not being used. Some accumulation of shards, a good amount of mystery shards, and you've pulled voids, primals, and some sacreds. We're at lack for big shards. Let's check the roster. Oh man, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rank 6 champions. Yikes. We're gonna have to work on some champions, my dude. And I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because I already had the time. I'm just acting. I knew what the roster looked like. I already had the time to make up some teams for the specific parts of the game that you wanted. We're gonna go over them today very quickly, but let's go over the champions that you do have here and you can consider keeping and working on. Don't forget to use my promo link to get yourself a free legendary Raphma tab, as well as the epics Takeover, Ugo, and Lady Quillen as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. And that is all you have to do to get your free legendary Raphma tab, as well as Takeover, Ugo, and Lady Quillen as you level up in progress. So don't miss out and click on my link right now. Definitely get these 3 guys up to level 60 as soon as you can. Finish their masteries. This Allure, you gotta start taking down a Minotaur ASAP. Okay, this Taragi's done. He just needs 1 more level. Okay, we can forget about him. Do your level 60s otherwise have their masteries. Yes, good job, man. Okay, this Ausgore will be our next rank 6 priority. The next one, I would say, would be this Sill of the Drakes. You don't seem to have any of the other turtles. On his own, he's also pretty damn good, though. But Ausgore and Sill will be the legendaries that you can focus on next. Have you booked anyone? Okay, no. For Alice and some Zigmund. Yeah, finish your Zigmund because you gotta take this down to a 3-turn cooldown. This one as well. This one, it's whatever. If it lands in there, whatever. You can't help it, right? Okay, you gotta finish your Zigmund. Do not put books in any other legendaries for the time being. Good job. You've abstained. It's impressive. You have worked on some food. I love to see this. You're busy, you're working, you're bulking. I know that you've recently gotten these guys up to rank 6. Good job on working quickly, because as you know, if you want to progress, and really progress, you gotta have all the champions that you're using on your team up to level 60 with some exceptions. But as for how you stand right now and the parts of the game where you want to progress, definitely. And we've taken interest in Fire Knight and Spider. So let's start off with Spider. This is the team that you currently have. Why this team is not working is because most likely this Sill cannot sustain everyone fast enough. And granted, because your Sill is still not a rank 6, she's still not level 60, she still doesn't have her gear, her masteries, she can't really do much. What you could do, and here's the team that I've proposed. This team, you have an AoE provoker who you've already built out. So all of the little spiders will target him if he lands that provoke. You gotta build him with some accuracy. See it? Let's see it. More accuracy, a little bit more. This banner. This way. Oh, you have to ascend him to unlock the banner slot. Please do that as soon as possible. Please do that. Personal CVCs are a good time to do it, but right now you need a banner. So Geo, when he burns the big spider, which unfortunately you don't have an AoE burn to burn the little spiders, which would have made this run so much faster, right? And I'll make sure that this is correct. But you will have to burn the big spider, and then you will have to have someone to take the little spider's attack. On top of that, Ausgore comes with a full heal block damage, so he will support your Zigmund, who's gonna tank the little spiderlings. Haikatune for a speed aura increase, for increased speed, for decrease of the turn meter. And Kale because he's a strong nuker. Do you have someone stronger? If Alice is doing better, then I would suggest you switch with Alice, okay? So whichever one is your stronger nuker, either Kale or Alice, will do. this is one strategy. You will have to take this Osgorb to level 60, as I already said, and we will get to him again in a little bit. In other words, the best way to damage this spider is to have all of the little ones burn. Each time they burn, they damage the big spider by a percent of its max HP. If you can't do that, Geomancer is amazing. He's taken me up to stage 16, maybe even stage 20 of spider as well, when I didn't have another way to go about this. So try it that way. Fire Knight, stage 9. I feel the pain. I know, man. You have this team going on here. And I found it very funny that you decided to include Zigmund. And I'm sure that the train of thought went something along the lines of, oh, this Zigmund? Look at the skill that he brings here. He removes any shield buffs on his A1. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. And I wish it was how it works. This shield you cannot remove with skills like that. This shield you can only remove by hitting it many times. As many times it's specified. I think it's 10 or 12 in normal Fire Knight. So you gotta take down the shield, and then to avoid him bringing up the shield, you gotta keep decreasing his turn meter. And you can do that with skills. So this is the new team. We've got Kale for his multi-hitters and to help you escort you to Fire Knight. We have Allure, who you've already started building out. Kudos for that. Because she has a triple hitter on her A1, and with that triple hitter, she decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. So you gotta take her up to 100% crit rate. Non-negotiably, okay? Non-negotiably, 100% crit rate over 100% crit damage. AoE, double AoE. This is gonna help you on your way to Fire Knight as well. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a small decreased defense debuff and a sleep for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense. So if this decreased defense lands on everyone, the second time she's gonna put him to sleep. On her A3, she has a extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Will ignore 50% of the target's defense. So you use that triple hitter, thankfully on her A1, you don't have to wait for it to reload to take down the shield, and then you can just keep using it to decrease the turn meter if it's nearing 75%. This you're gonna need only for escorting, and this you can also use every once in a while to smack the Fire Knight when the shield is down. Geomancer, why I have him in there is when you do take down the shield with the multi-hitters of the rest, place this burn and weaken, and regardless of when you do it, he's gonna deplete the target's turn meter completely and fill this champion's turn meter by the amount that the target loses. On top of that, the Fire Knight's gonna get damaged a little bit of extra when he does put up the shield, smack you back while he's burning. You take down the shield with this A1, you won't have to use the A2, I think. We'll mostly focus on this A3. We're gonna prioritize it when you get to Fire Knight. I also have placed this curious little fella here, and I will explain why. Old Gruckus. I noticed that you do not have a cold heart, and she's prime in Fire Knight for 2 reasons. 1, her big smack on her A3 that scales off enemy max HP, and 2, because she brings heal reduction and poison, which damages, you know, damage over time is always nice, but the heal reduction allows the Fire Knight not to heal back up when his shield gets up if you don't manage to keep his turn meter down. So all of your progress doesn't get lost, you know? It's so frustrating when you've taken down the HP to half, and then you forget to place heal reduction, and he heals, and you sit there and you hate yourself. Heal reduction on his A3, with the chance of placing a strong decrease attack as well. This is on an AoE, but make sure to place it immediately after Fire Knight takes his shield down. Just immediately block him from healing. It's 100% heal reduction, you need it. Plus here, you can place a decreased speed, strong decreased speed for 2 turns, which is very important. You know, the slower you make him, the slower his turn meter is gonna increase. And a chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 30%. 30, yes. It's a good percent. Book the skill, of course. You have to book all of these skills. Take them up to level 60. Goes without saying, okay? But you see what I mean. When you take down the shield, first hit him with the heal reduction, then try to decrease his turn meter. On his A1, it is a triple hitter, so he will also help you take down the Fire Knight's shield. On top of that, he also places a leech, and that's a little bit of extra sustenance for your homies. Notice how many multi-hitters we're bringing on the A1s. This is the kind of thing that we need for Fire Knight. The faster you can take down the shield, the faster you can decrease the turn meter, the faster you can place these heal reductions and poisons and explode him, basically. And Syl, as my last pick for support champion, she also has a double hitter here on her A2, which I use her from a hard Fire Knight, so she's gonna come in handy, come in clutch for you for a very long time. This double hitter I use to take down the shield. Here she has a chance of placing a decreased speed for 2 turns, which doubles down with Gruckus, but whoever it lands from, it's good. And a chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. It's a little smidge, but sometimes it is a lifesaver. And of course, revive if you need it with ally protection. If someone gets smacked a little too hard, she can bring him back. And her passive healing, 10% of everyone's max HP at the start of each turn, and a strong increased speed on a random ally for 2 turns. This happens regardless of whether she's provoked, crowd controlled. So you're gonna have to build out some people here to progress further up in Fire Knight, but I hope that you understood at least the mechanics behind it. Dragon, I'm sure that you've gotten the hang of. Yup, it's very similar to Clan Boss, so. And stage 20 Ice Golem is beautiful, and I'm sure that, yup, this is awesome. Poisons and protection and constant healing and little by little, tiny damage by tiny damage. If your Alice starts nuking a little too hard, you can switch her around for a Geomancer. Are you using Geo here? Oh no, but he's great in Ice Golem, trust me. Okay, we can move on to Clan Boss. We want to progress down Nightmare. So far, we can only do Hard and Brutal. This is the team that you've been working with. The problem with this is I don't see a reason why Zigmund is here, first of all. The shield? Did he bring shield on everyone? He removes shield, but he also plays a shield on everyone. And a strengthen. Yeah, he could help for that, I guess. Decrease attack. So, the main problem with this is that this team inevitably ends up getting kicked. Smacked out. Just dead. So what we can build you instead is actually an unkillable Clan Boss team, because you have these 2 very important champions. Well, one of these champions is replaceable, but you have Alsgore Crimson Horn, who comes with the block damage with a full heal on a 4-turn cooldown. He can place a decreased speed when attacked, chance of removing 2 random buffs from all enemies, and placing a continuous heal buff on all allies for 1 turn. Attacks 1 enemy, heals this champion by 20% of the damage dealt, and has a chance of increasing the duration of 2 random debuffs on the targeted champion by a turn. So what this team is a slight variation of the Fast Tower Crusher Unkillable, and let me show it to you guys. Here is the Fast Tower Crusher Unkillable formation. Instead of Roshard the Tower, we're using Alsgore. They're practically used for the same reason. They have a block damage on a 4-turn cooldown. When you book Alsgore, it's gonna be on a 4-turn cooldown. And here, instead of Skull Crusher, because you don't have him, we're using Bushi, who can also be replaced with a Gnarlhorn, depending on the affinity. Because he's gonna be the stun target for this team. Hopefully, instead of Fane, it's actually Bushi, but if you somehow end up pulling a Skull Crusher, keep an eye out for him. He will fit this team perfectly instead of Bushi. But this is the second best. Maybe if this doesn't work, try with a Gnarlhorn. But as a stun target, you need him to have an unkillable on himself on a 3-turn cooldown. After that 3rd turn, Alsgore's gonna fully heal him and is gonna place a block damage on everybody. So everybody else is covered. And then you have 2 DPSs and a block debuffer. For the DPS options, I have for you a Fane, Geomancer, and Kale. Unfortunately, you don't have an AoE block debuffs champion. So that's something that we'll have to hope to not need. So I've just included 3 DPSs. Fane brings you decrease defense weaken, and poison and decrease attack. This turn meter steal does not work on her A1, but Builder and Lifesteal, because these multi-hitters here on her A3 and on her A1 heal her a good bunch. And she can deal extra damage with some masteries, the more HP she has. Geomancer, of course, for the A3 and the burn. It does work with block damage. I've tested it on my own Unkillable clan boss team. It does work. It procs. It also procs in Chimera. If you're curious, you can take your Alsgore Geomancer combination there too. With the A2, you have a removal of the increased attack, but you also have it from Alsgore on a chance as well. And with the A1, places decreased accuracy. Kale with a bunch of poisons. He's some damage over time, like the burn, will help you get some more damage. So I've put your best poisoner here on this team. Bushi also doubles down as a nuker. He has a strong increased crit rate and 15% increased speed on himself for 3 turns. This stack always crits. So because of this, you can afford to not build him with 100% crit rate. You can get around it with like 70. It's enough. Keep in mind that only applies to him because he places it only on himself. On his A1, damage inflicted increases each time the skill is used. Stacks up to 4 times. Like that mastery. Methodical, I think it was called. So we're gonna prioritize Alsgore's A3. Bushi's passive does not need to be prioritized. He just does it, right? On the 3-turn cooldown, which is why this is great. So you can just prioritize his A2. Fane, I like to prioritize her decreased defense weakened skill here and then place the A2. Geomancer with the A3, of course. Now, what's important for this speed tune to work is you gotta stick to the exact speeds shown in the website, and I will put the link down in the description box of this team so you can have a much easier time finding it. But the speeds are strict. You can't go around not using the exact speeds, and no speed aura here, and no turn meter increase masteries on the champions that you are taking down here. So be careful with this Alsgore. Do not book this. Has a 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expires. Forbidden. Rapid response is forbidden. It's gonna throw away your speed tune. Second thing second. If you play live arena, now check that in a second. When you go to the area bonuses, do not put any speed in Demon Lord. That's also gonna throw away your speed tune. Or if you do place 2 speed, please calculate for it every time you are looking into the calculator and you're trying to build your unkillable team. The speeds need to be exact, you hear me? Just 1 or 2 off and your entire team screws up. That's why these unkillables are a little bit of a pain to get the hang of initially, but then they make your life so much easier because you'll be able to, with this team that I'm building you right now, for Nightmare, you could potentially get up to a 3-key on Ultra Nightmare as well. You might need Skull Crusher for it, but you can also try with a Gnarlhorn if Bushi doesn't work for you. The one important thing is that this champion needs to have an unkillable on a 3-turn cooldown. That's it. That's it. So build these champions, refer to the Speed Tune team in Deadwood Jedi. These are tested. There's some gimmicks that you will have to take under consideration with it as well. There's some gear sets that are forbidden. You can't build your champions in, for example, Relentless. You can't put Deterrence on your Bushi. You'll have to take some affinities under consideration. You might need to adjust some HP defense values on your magic DPSs like Kale. There's gonna be some touch-ups needed, right? But this team should do a 3-key Ultra Nightmare if built right. So here's to that. I hope that gives you some incentive to keep working on your champions these days. If you haven't done any Curse City normal, not normal, no hard. Remember, Doom Tower and Curse City are there for a reason. Nothing stops you from raiding these every once in a while, but if you're a casual player, I understand that it takes a little bit longer. These stages of Doom Tower and Curse City are gonna give you so many resources to work with. They're also gonna make your life much easier. I don't know, man. I don't know if you care to hear all these things if you're just a casual player just logging in once a week, but I was still very happy to help you with some navigation, and hopefully we learned a little something together today. If you want account takeover, hit up my Discord and find the account takeover channel. You can expect a little bit of delay, but I will get to them in due time. trying to help a lot of you guys at the same time. Thanks for trusting me with your account. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys again in the next one tomorrow. Bye!